it'd be helpful if I could hear this crap.
Right?
Video download was canceled. Please try again. Man, we suck.
How you doing, everybody? This is Djverms, and you just heard a guy say, "We suck." Can you believe it? Welcome to It's Not a Podcast for Dummies. We just decided to say dummies. It's not a podcast. And yeah, we're just a couple of minutes late because we were working on our AdSense. Can you believe it? So if you hear us right now at the moment, go click on our www.vermlandradio.com website. At the bottom, there's AdSense. Every time you click, you give us pennies. What do you think, guys? Pennies.
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 Zinc, copper, nickel.
Woo! Yeah. So how's everybody today? Akaya, how you doing?
Am I doing? I'm doing wonderful. Now it's asking me for Twitch passwords. I love this. I love.
Yeah, see, again, Djverms is giving you hell. Twit, how you doing on today?
Pretty bad weather, but good day for a birthday.
Oh, birthday. Is it your birthday today?
Yep.
Happy birthday, Twit.
Thank you.
Woohoo! That makes you what, 25?
Sure.
So, on our podcast today, we will be elaborating on maybe a couple of things. What happened to you guys you've seen this week? What was your week this week, Akai?
My week this week?
Yeah, what was your week?
Hectic.
Let's kick us off with our week.
It's been ridiculously busy. I've been watching the kid a lot. I've been working at the shop a lot. Running around trying to get things done. To get things ready for my trip. Moving into the new house.
Ooh.
All that stuff.
That's great. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you moved into your new house. We know who has the money. I'm just joking. Okay. So, Twit, what about you? How did your week go?
I started my week of classes.
School. Studying.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. And
It says content is restricted.
it is?
Yes.
Restricted to what?
That is what Twitch is telling me.
Wow.
Oh, you gotta switch the category from music and performing arts to the other thing. Because it still says your classic hits.
Oh, God. Oh, God. So, okay, while I'm doing that, Twit, what do you
Yeah.
want to talk about, like, now, while I'm taking care of that?
Alright, well, do you mind me doing some dirty laundry then?
Oh, no, not again. Okay, it's the dirty laundry. We're going to call that the dirty laundry of Twit.
Why are we doing dirty laundry? We shouldn't
Okay.
do any dirty laundry.
Alright, this is not dirty laundry of Vernland. This is dirty laundry of politics.
Oh,
So, how about horse
Oh, that's gonna get bad. Okay, let's go.
let's go.
I'll call it horse maneuver instead. Alright, so I have archaeology class.
Okay.
First day of it, the teacher says, alright, so first things, I gotta inform you guys of the owners of the land to which you reside on. And he started naming a bunch of Native American tribes that used to occupy this land. And I can't listen to that. I just looked at it and was pretty much thinking, aren't we technically the owners of this land? They lost that right when they either sold themselves out, got beaten off, or were killed off.
Okay.
That's because we played Cowboys and Indians and they lost.
Exactly, like conqueror rules.
Yeah. And before that, when it was just, yeah, and there's the whole conqueror rules thing. And man, people are so sensitive over that whole subject. Yeah, it just gets ugly no matter which way you go on it.
Well, go, okay, go. I mean, I think it's been a while you wanted to talk about this.
It's it's like the Indians lost a certain amount of their land, but you know what? The people who made contracts with them and made treaties with them also reneged and lied about the treaties. And if the Indians, I guess, wouldn't have been so accepting of what they were getting, we would have probably brought up arms and gone against them. I mean, they wiped out Custer, so I mean, they could probably could have kept going if they really wanted to.
Okay. And when you mean get going, what are you talking about?
Well, there was a couple times where the Native Americans rose up against what they thought were injustices on their stuff. Either against the tribe or the reservation or a certain group, and proceeded to uh, take up arms. But the majority of times they lost in those events. It's just and then they say, well, this is our land, and I go, well, before you it was somebody else's land until you took it away from that tribe. And it's everybody says, well, these guys are evil because they had slaves, and then you start researching back in history, and then you find out, well, the reason that
Everyone.
those guys had everybody's had slaves. It's just, what part of history are we going to bother to listen to about the whole slave thing? Do we listen to the most recent part, or do we have to go all the way back to you know the countries of origins where they would go and they would capture each other and slave each other out to their different tribes? I mean, the Native Americans had slaves. The Native Americans would, put you as a slave in their tribe until you became part of the tribe or got rid of you. I mean, there was,
Okay.
and that happened practically with every tribe out there. And then you became a part of their society, or you were sold off, or they got rid of you. In the Middle East and in Africa, that you were sold off and sold into servitude. Um, the Jews sold the Christians into slavery to the Muslims. The blacks were sold into slavery against the Muslims. Blacks are still being sold into slavery to the Muslims to this day. Then there's the whole female slave trade thing that's going on currently over there in that area. Then you got the whole, unfortunately, the kid sex slave trade, which is being done. You got the whole Epstein thing, which we'll never get to the bottom of. So yeah,
Wow. What do you think about this, Twit?
I pretty much agree. Like I was about to bring up the fact
Oh
that yeah,
man.
they kidnapped white settlers and forced them into their family, and that is a form of slavery because it was against their will. Like they were beaten with rocks and sticks, and if you passed out or fell on the ground, you were dead.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That hits. Ooh. So,
what's up?
so now that we went through that, we got say hi to Bishop, by the way, guys. We got Bishop that's on D Live listening to us and saying hi. How you doing, guys? So
Hey Bishop,
yeah, so we got Bishop.
sorry
So
about our
yeah,
sorry about our horse maneuver.
yeah. Well, there's always a little
Well,
bit of that.
here's a funny part about horses. So, not many people really take this into effect, but the whole NASA space program
Hmm.
for the satellites and the rockets is decided by the width of two horses' asses.
Yes, yes, I saw that too.
And if you
All
haven't seen this one, it's goes all the way back to when they were making train tracks.
yep.
And so when they make these train tracks in these tunnels, they would be the width of two horses, so the wagon could be pulled behind them. And originally, before train engines, they were pulled by wagon by teams of horses. And then tunnels that were put through. So all these tunnels that exist around the country are made to a certain diameter of two horses' asses. And so when they need to pull these big rockets from the East Coast to the West Coast, the diameter of the rocket is decided by two horses' asses.
What?
There's your little history lesson about
What?
NASA. So yeah,
So two horror. They were decided by two horses' asses.
Yes.
yeah, the width of two horses' butts, man, because that's the size of the wagon that got pulled through the tunnel, and so the tunnel is that size.
Oh,
So you can't get a rocket any bigger than that size through the tunnel. It's not going to fit.
You can try, just won't work
that's so
unless you take it
funny.
apart.
Oh God.
I
Yeah.
think we knocked Berm out. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
All right.
sorry. Uh,
Okay, maybe you can answer this for me, but how the heck does someone join the Space Force other than
Space
already being,
Force.
yeah, other
Well,
than already being a member of the military?
The Air Force already has a
Space division,
basically a
yes.
Space Force division, and Army has one too, and
Come on.
I forget who else. I think, does the Navy have one?
I would
They have
see
something
why
that
they
does
wouldn't.
something with. They have something that does something with. It's like satellites or something like that, where they can shoot down satellites. But what the heck is that going on in the background?
It's my sound effects.
Oh
It's
my
brand new.
god! I'm like somebody's listening to porn.
No, I'm actually doing something very childish, so that's not me.
Okay.
Okay, I'm like, what the heck is that?
It was a uh-huh.
I've been hearing all these noises all day long. I keep turning around and I'm like, is somebody in my office? Is somebody in my house? And I keep hearing people talking,
Yeah.
and it's probably Verm soundboarding me and making me go crazy.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's firm soundboarding. I just want to do something new this for this podcast. So, go continue. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we got to deal with. That's what we got to deal with on this podcast. So, I mean, trying to, yeah, well, you can't get too serious on this whole, I mean, politics, man. Oh, it's like talking about religion. Mm, I'm not gonna do it. I get so much trouble. I would. I mean, I do. I will dig myself into a hole and people will hate me because I tell people how I feel. But I'm one of the very few people that has very set that if you can come at me with a good argument,
Say what?
with with a good argument and facts, like real legit facts, not your conjecture or your feelings about the subject, facts, and
Okay.
you want to change my mind, I am willing to listen. And
Say
that's what
what?
may differ me from other people is I am actually willing to listen and take somebody's input and go, okay, I can see what you're saying, but I still disagree with you. Or I could say, okay, I see what you're saying. I don't quite agree, or I do agree, and now I have to change my view on it and do some more research on that subject.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm the exact same way, only except I don't remember where I get my information. The information is in there, but the location to which the information got there is unknown.
Well, and then where do you trust the information too? Because nowadays you got all this stuff that's on the internet, all this stuff that's that comes across your Facebook feed, and half of it is just bull. You go to look it up and you're like, man, that never happened, or man, this is 9/10 of this thing statement is false, and there's the only thing I got in here right is the guy's name.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, like the thing that says that Trump spent 244 million on going to golf courses.
Oh. Oh. Okay. That's interesting.
I
Well,
don't
it's bull,
know.
but I didn't see what the rest of the article said. I just saw that and was like,
I mean,
that's totally bull.
I happen to I have some insight on that, but um, there has been a lot of money spent. I don't know the exact number about him going down to Mar-Lago, and the security down there has to get ramped up because, well, the president's there. Just like they had to ramp up the security at his estate in uh, New York. Anywhere he's going to have an estate, that security is going to get ramped up.
Okay. That's bad.
Oh yeah, Akai, are you on Social Security? Or just disabilities? Did I drop out?
What?
Drop out?
See what? What?
Are you on Social Security or disability? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm on disability.
Okay. So did you get the 7% increase and then health insurance tried to take it away?
No.
All right. Well, my grandparents, they're on Social Security, and they said they're getting a 7% increase to their income, and yet they're losing it via the health insurance that's offered by the same government agency.
So they got an increase on their Social Security. I'm not on Social Security disability. I'm a disabled vet. So
Okay.
mine is all through the military. So I'm on a totally different system.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, just want to say thank you to Bishop for the ice cream and the 5 lemons that he just sent us on D Live. It gives us just to let you know, Twit. I don't know. Well, you know how the system works on D Live, Twit.
A little bit.
Yeah, okay. So when listeners they will donate some lemons and ice cream, they could go for even further, diamonds and stuff like that. And that gives Linos. I'm starting to get used to it because of Bishop also and talking with Evil Child, who are really teaching me the ends of D Live. So so people that come and listen to us will, if they want, if they'll donate to our funds if you want on D Live. And then we got that chest that eventually when people start, like you just did, Twit, you gave us 3 lemons. Thank you, Twit, for giving us lemons. And then you got the chest that later on I just like throw it out before the end of the show, so people that are working, talking to us and chatting, we give them back what's in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to say it, so I know Bishop and now Twit just gave us a couple of funds, so thank you very much, guys. You are awesome to give it to our station. So yeah. Hey, okay, you know what? We're talking about stuff. We're talking about all that. You know what happened this week? You guys must have heard about it. We had Prince Henry and
Check your
Meghan.
messages, man.
Yeah. Okay, we had
No.
Prince Henry and Meghan, uh, who decided to split from the royal family. So grandmother Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth II, has officially, how do you call it? Downsized them? Is that how we say in English?
I guess that works.
Okay, okay. And so give me your point of view on that.
Uh, I don't really follow into European politics. If they want out, then that's their business. I kind of see them the same way that I see other celebrities. Whatever they want to do in their private life is theirs.
Yeah. Well, that's it, and it's even worse. Well, it's not worse. I'm happy to have them aboard. They're coming. They're coming to Canada. They've picked Canada to leave their country and come to Canada. So I don't know where. I haven't had the chance to, but I know they're hanging out in Alberta. So yeah, I just wanted to have it like chat. So our brother Akai, our co-host Akai, is stepped down his chair just for a couple of minutes. Like we're all in our studios at each other's homes, and sometimes things pull us out. So it's me and you, Twit.
Okay.
We're gonna go also. We're gonna hit a little bit since we are a gaming radio station. We're gonna hit a little before we hit some questions on the gaming. Has it snowed around your place?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah, and how did it go?
It's been snowing since morning, and at least 3, maybe 4 inches.
Okay, so we got about 12 to 13 inches
We
lately.
might have more. I just haven't measured it.
Okay, you didn't take the tape out and go see how much? No.
No, no. I kind of like my nice, warm, cozy dorm.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Do you have a large dorm?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you two or are you alone?
I had a roommate, and then he moved out,
Okay.
so I
Crazy, eh?
got the place to myself.
Okay. So that means it's great.
Yes.
I thought so. Now you're gonna be able to talk and game and whatever. Don't need to go shush when it's time
Great.
to. Yeah, understood. Yeah. So let's hit it now that we talked about the snow. Let's hit it. I wanted to know what are some of the underrated games do you think more people should play? That would be a good question for. I know you're good in gaming, so.
Underrated. Well, let me see here. Interstellar Rift, that one's a pretty good one. Kind of like Space Engineers, only except it doesn't require as much processing. It has a little bit more decorations, and it doesn't have the DLC stupid thing that goes with Space Engineers.
Okay.
However, they don't have the same fun components that each one makes each other fun. Like Interstellar Rift doesn't have planets. It
Okay.
has planetary bodies, but if you try to enter them, your ship explodes.
Are you serious? Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried it.
Okay. 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 And what about
And
the
it
other
doesn't
ones?
have Space Engineers. You can enter a planet, you just got to make sure you have the right thrusters on and that you have enough thrust to counteract gravity.
Okay. Have any
And
other?
then
Yeah.
any others is looking at my old Rome Total War was pretty good.
Okay.
Uh,
Bueno, yeah.
I'm not really seeing anything that I would consider underrated. Maybe America's Army Proving Ground. That one's a little underrated. It's a first-person shooter, kind of like trying to think. What is it? Kind of like Siege. All right. It has the left and right features of Siege, but it doesn't have the rope things. But it has the weapons of Counter-Strike, but it has the capabilities of actually aiming and controlling how fast you run. And you can also prone and all that.
Okay. So that's really we're going back. We're going back from the games that we played today, like Battlefield and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on that. I really love it. I don't know. I've had another question. You know, we're talking about gaming. I have another
Yeah.
question, but
Well, what about you? What's your underrated game other than Battlefield?
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man? You think that's underrated?
Well, no, maybe yeah. People still think. Oh no, I would say enemy Quake War Enemy Territories. I mean, the first game that I played would be underrated. I mean, Pac-Man. I mean, it's still popular. People could, whoever want who doesn't want to play with a orange, yellow, mouthy guy eating dots. I mean, I mean the game still plays today. They even create these smaller. I bought that before. Whatever. What was the place I bought it? I think it was something. It was like a mini pad. It had
Well,
like
actually,
60 games in it. I don't know if you remember
oh,
that. You used to plug that on the TV.
oh yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah, and it has like the little shifter and all that.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
Pac-Man was
the
there. There was
joystick.
space, yeah, joystick, I should say, yeah. And then there was Space Invaders and stuff like that. And there, that was all the old games that, in my time, I should say, not to say that I'm old, but in the arcades when there used to be arcades. Remember that? You know what about an arcade? Yeah, you know what arcades
Yeah,
are.
yeah. I've experienced a few.
Do they still have that in the states? Arcades?
Specifically arcades, no, they're usually combined with another thing. Like, do you know what a Chuck E. Cheese is?
No. What's a Chuck E. Cheese?
Okay, so a Chuck E. Cheese is pretty much an arcade combined with a play indoor play set and usually a dining area. And it's all to make kids celebrate this rat and mouse guy named Chucky who for some reason does things with kids around. I don't know.
Okay.
Personally, I go to Magic Mountain.
Yeah, ain't that at Walt Disney?
What?
Magic Mountain?
Uh, yes, there is definitely one something of that variant there, but I was talking about specifically there's something there has to be a name for that kind of franchise
Okay, 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 okay.
because it's not a theme park, it's like an indoor play set, and I'm trying to think of some others.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I know that roller derbies, they usually have an arcade zone.
okay.
I just can't think of any others.
Well, I remember the days when I used to. We're talking about arcades. I remember the day because what makes it creepy.
Hmm.
Twit. When we talk about modules, we're talking about arcade games. I'm talking about the arcade games that we used to pay 25 cents for to play. The processor in there, the microprocessor, the chipset, everything that was in there was like completely what a computer today. Like it was like
Yeah.
really low minded. The games were like so. Uh, can I say cheap? I mean, at that time it
Yes.
wasn't cheap, but you know,
This
there.
day and age, it would be cheap.
Yeah, well, it is because they were able to cram 60 different games that we used to have in these big boxes, wooden boxes, if I should say. 60 games in one little module that's about like what? 6 inch by six, no, a little bit bigger maybe, let's say 10 by 10 with a
Yeah.
joystick.
Yeah.
And in the time we used to play Dragon's Lair. Remember Walt Disney Dragon's Lair? It,
No, I didn't do that one.
oh, you didn't do that one? Oh, that was good. That was the one that I
Um,
liked. It was the first like kind of you decide the story.
no, I did Castaway Island, Stronghold, or the Stronghold series. Trying to think of what else.
Hey, but
And then,
While Twit is thinking, Bishop, if ever you have games that you played in the past, let us know on the text. I'll say it out loud for you.
like, I can only remember the websites that I went to when I was young, like Antcon, Y8, A10, uh, Roblox, Adventure Quest,
Oh God, oh yeah, I remember that. That was good.
Pop Tropica, which they got rid of a bunch of islands from that, which I'm still slightly peeved on.
There's a lot. I mean, I go back. I played. Well, if I'm going back, I'm talking about. Remember Missile Attack?
Is
It
that the one where it's a top-down view of a spaceship constantly running through terrain and their ships going everywhere trying to destroy it?
Well, it's technically more of a kind of a Space Invader, uh, kind of a ish game with a kind of a you had like these cannons in the bottom, and
Hmm.
then you would have like these missiles coming down, and you have
Hmm.
to destroy the missiles before they hit Earth if you want. It came out about in the time where there was that. There was a crisis where nuclear war was coming up
Ah,
and stuff like
Cold
that.
War.
The Cold War. Well,
Mhm.
they kind of brought it out at that place. There you go. Twit is dancing here. Woohoo! So yeah, so they came out at that about that time. So I mean I went crazy with that game. I really liked the game. So it's like awesome, awesome. Yeah. So yeah, so the oldies game. Hey, talking about it, let's hit it from one end to another. It's our specialty here in our new podcast. What about Ronnie Souls? How do you like Ronnie Souls? I mean, I keep watching them every time when they stream. What is your thinking
Um,
on that?
since they're not on YouTube, I don't really follow their stuff often, but whenever I do catch their stuff, it's usually pretty good.
It's true, eh? It's true. They're not on YouTube.
Well, it's because YouTube is a bunch of things in a bag that should be smashed, destroyed, and thrown in lava, as I censor myself multiple times.
Yeah, you do, eh?
Uh, so I understand why they wouldn't. It's just usually if I'm gonna go watch something that's not an actual TV show or movie, YouTube's the standardized place that I go.
Yeah, but a lot of people these days go a lot to YouTube. That's the reason why YouTube has become
The site.
yeah, the site and payable, if I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's like that's the bad part. I mean, technically, I don't know why we have to pay for that subscription, but I think it's what it is today. So We can't do nothing about it anymore. And you, any topics?
Um, I had something about religion, and I can't remember what.
Okay.
Oh yes. So something that I wanted to bring up, which I already brought up with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What if we played games during this?
Well, I like the idea. We maybe
So
could
do
hit
I.
it and try to maybe invite people to come and play the game with us.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. See who has copies of what game, and then do a thing of it.
Yeah.
And uh, I finally looked at it, and I figured out how to do the streaming thing where we get the alerts, we get the text chat, we get the hey, person has subscribed to you, you have this many people. I finally figured out how to do that, and I would just have to set it up with you, make a thing out of it or something.
Yeah, and we could really organize maybe something so we could like kind of also do a podcast
Podcasting.
while we're podcasting and we're playing the game. It's a good idea, man. I mean, you always have these fabulous ideas to it. Now we just got to work on it.
Oh, I just remembered. Uh, for my show this Thursday, which is going to be the last one for a long while, because we need to focus on more things, and I can't really be on two things at once. So next week, or this coming week, is going to be the last episode of the Druid Vine for a while. But we'll have a special guest from D Life. His name is Switchbold Bandit, and I've seen him around, and it's going to be fun being able to talk to someone from D Life who isn't in our text chat.
Exactly. Have you invited him?
Yes,
Okay, so
and
he's going to be here with us.